Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we find ourselves living a cozy life with our fellow dogs and our loving human. Now we're trying to get belly rubs, treats, and a trip to the park. But there's only so many days in the week, and the other dogs are trying to get more attention than us. So you're gonna have to choose your behaviors wisely, and you'll surely become the most spoiled dog. Treat Please is for 2 to 4 players, takes 30 to 60 minutes to play, is for ages 14 and up, and published by Solus Game Studios. Now it's being crowdfunded right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, and I'll see you on the other side. This is a crowdfunding preview, so all the art and components you see here are not final, they're prototypes. To see the most up-to-date art and components, check the link in the description of this video. Now at the beginning of Treat Please, you get to pick which dog you are. That's going to be you trying to get that affection from the humans. So you can have Pepper, Carmen, Benny, Trixie, Fergus. And each of these dogs are going to start with 2 cards that are specific to them, like for Pepper it's stare longly at the fridge or perch on sofa. For Carmen it's jump on the table or zoomy time. For Trixie, it's sunbathe or puppy dog eyes. For Fergus, it's burrow under a blanket or meerkat. And for Benny, it's chase tail or guard the yard. But not only do you use those specific cards to go with your dog at the beginning, everyone's gonna get a take a nap and a search for loose kibbles card. Now these are gonna make up your hand. You'll have them in your hand. They're secret to other players, but you're gonna look at them in your hand. Everybody starts with a player board with your dog on it, and you're going to have an attention marker that starts at 0. This is a form of currency you'll be using to try to gain objectives during the game. And everyone will start with a certain amount of energy, depending on your dog. This one's at 6. Again, and you'll be using this as a form of currency during the game to do different things. And you're also going to start with 3 bone tokens. This is a form of currency in the game. Now the game is played over 7 rounds. Each of those is a day. You're going to go through 5 days, then you're going to have a weekend and do 2 more days over the weekend. You're trying to have the most affection. You're going to get affection points by completing objectives. Now these objectives come in different colors, which are different types, like left to right. Orange is food, green is play, pink is pamper, blue is pets, and yellow is outdoor. At the beginning of the day, you're going to flip over this card and it's going to be a certain event, like the human is taking dogs to visit the family. All objectives require 2 fewer attention this round, so everyone knows that that's a certain thing that's happening this round for everybody. Now turns will go clockwise. On your turn, you're essentially going to be able to do a few different things. One of them is you could play up to 2 behaviors. Now you could do all of these things in different orders. For example, I can play an active behavior. This is my special one from Pepper. I'm going to perch on the sofa. And by doing that, I'm going to get 2 attention from my owner, but it's going to cost me 1 energy. Now, another thing I could do is play another card. You can play up to 2 active behaviors on your turn. Here's the second one. I'm going to stare longingly at the fridge. I'm going to get another attention. Now, all dogs are going to collect 3 bones, which they'll hold there. Now, notice also that's all dogs, so other players do as well. Now, food-based objectives require 2 less attention this turn. Also remember, the event this round allowed all objectives to require 2 fewer attention. And right now I have 3 attention. So we have some options here. This one here, I played my card that said those cost 2 less. And the event is 2 less. So this one would only cost 2 attention. I would be fed an early dinner, I'd gain this would get me 2 affection points for the end of the game, and I would collect 4 bones. Or I could do this one. This one normally costs 4, but because of the event, it costs 2 less. So it would only cost me 2. This one also would cost me 2 more energy. It'd get me the same amount of points of this, but we look at here. This is stare out the window. I could gain a certain amount of attention equal to the number of my completed yellow objective cards. So it's early in the game. Do I want to spend this 3 bones to get this card and also get this one? Because it's maybe going to be a little bit more costly up front for the same amount of points. Maybe I don't get as many bones, of course. Now, again, we played up to 2 behaviors, which we've already done. And we can complete an objective, but we can also learn a new trick, or a new behavior, if you will. So here, this shows you the cost in bones. So let's say I'm going to spend 3 bones and get this. Now this just goes into my hand. Now keep in mind, the order is very flexible. I've already played 2 behaviors, but let's say I hadn't played this one yet. Let's say I'd only played 1 and then I bought this card. If I want to, I could play for my second one and then activate this. But I've already played 2, so I'll have to activate this one on a future turn. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to spend 2 energy. I'm only going to use 2 attention because the event allows me to do 2 less than this. And then the next one will get flipped up to see what's going on. So this one is catch a frisbee. It costs 3 attention and 1 specific energy there. Then it'd be the end of my turn, so I would take my behaviors, put them in the discard pile, and then you get to eat dinner, which is always 2 bones there, and then it would be the next player's turn clockwise. And once all players have gone, then this is going to be the next day, and hey, all dogs immediately gain 2 attention. Great. Now let's look at some of the flexibility of some of the starting cards that you start with. You might be saying, well, if you can buy a card, but you can play up to 2, won't you run out of cards? It's possible, right? But you have Take a Nap, which is collect all your cards from your discard or reset your energy back to where it belongs. It would be 6 for Pepper. And then you return this card to your hand at the end of your turn. So you can always get the cards back if you need to, but essentially you're spending one of your behaviors for that. Another one that everyone starts with is Search for Loose Kibbles. You get an attention, you spend energy, you collect 3 bones, and you can spend 1 bone to refresh an objective or behavior card. Because sometimes there might not be behaviors that you want or objectives that you can claim that you really need for a certain color, and so you might need to refresh those. Now after the first 5 rounds, it's going to be the weekend, and this just reminds you that for the rest of the 2 rounds, you can play 3 behaviors instead of 2, and you can complete up to 2 objectives, and you'll play 2 more rounds, and then you'll count up all your affection points. So if you add up all of the numbers on the cards here, I have 20, and then there's some set collection bonuses. If you have multiples of a same type, if you have 3 of them, you'd get a bonus of 2 affection points. If you had another one, like 4 or more of a single type, you'd get 3 additional points. Also, if you have a complete set, I have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, at least 1 of each of these. For each complete set of all the different ones, you'll get 4 affection points. Then each player is going to add up their remaining dog bones and their remaining attention. And for every 5 dog bones and attention combined, you get an additional affection point. Whoever has the most is the winner. If it's a tie, the player who learned the most behaviors wins. And all of that final scoring is shown on your reference card, which shows how to score all the objective bonuses. And also the opposite side of this gives you a turn reference to see how you play your turns. Now you might be wondering, well, what are the different combos and things that the cards can do? I'm not going to go over all these individually, but I'm just going to leave these here, show you a different set of cards, and you can pause here if you want to read all of these. And here's another set of 8. Feel free to pause if you want to read what all these do. And here's the last ones I'll be showing you. Well, there you have Treat Please, and as I showed in the overview, you're going to be comboing together different behaviors, trying to figure out the order to play them in, trying to gain the benefits of the day's event, and trying to get the most affection. Now, if you'd like to see the most up-to-date art and components and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link below me right in the description of this video. Now, it's going to take you directly to the crowdfunding project page, and I'm sure that Soulless Game Studios would love your support.